We got Mclovein here in his jazzy attire. I just told him off camera how sexy he looked on camera, and he was none too pleased. Let's put it that way. He's not happy about his the Dodgers right now, or the Brewers right now. 3-1 in the 7th. He has the Brewers to win. Yeah. And breaking news: we just read that Chris Sale will not start Game 5 if necessary. So God forbid this. Well, if the Sox lose, it'll be 2-2 going into Game 5. I don't know who the hell you have pitch. You can't throw Price, so chances are you're throwing Rodriguez. Or if you have to take Sale off the roster, I mean, who do you get? You Brian Johnson? Who knows? But here's what we do know. I was wrong. I thought the Giants would win a must-win game, and the Eagles molested them. 34-13 on Thursday the 11th. Manning, 281 yards, 1 interception. Barkley is the real deal. 130 yards carry, 130 yards rushing, 1 touchdown. And he had 99 yards receiving. Yeah.
I thought Philly would win that game. It was never in doubt. Wentz is back on his getting healthier and healthier. I think the Giants. Building off of what I had said last week, I think they're out of it. They don't have a quarterback. Eli is done, and Barkley is a special talent, and I think they got problems with Beckham. He's a great player, but at the same time, he causes a lot of issues. And I don't think that's good for the young players on the team, seeing him with all his shenanigans on the sidelines and, all of his comments. And, the Giants are in a tricky situation. Do they just bench Eli and ride him off in the sense that this is for sure Eli's last year, because I think they own like $23 million next year or something absurd like that. So this is it for Eli. It should have come to an end for Eli maybe 3 years ago. I'd say about 5 years ago. He's been bad. And he hasn't gotten better. He's getting older, and I think it's showing. And the Giants as a whole, I thought, I told you guys and Andy that, coming off a heartbreak loss that they did at 2 Sundays ago against Carolina. With the 63-yarder, I didn't think they were going to be able to rebound in a short, 3 days rest to get ready for a division battle, and it was never a game.
Speaking of a game that was a game, and I didn't even know this. Well, first of all, Atlanta won, that we knew, but Jameis Winston, I think it's probably his best start ever. 395 yards passing, 4 touchdown passes. Falcons were just able to squeak by. That game, not really much to say. Atlanta goes to 2-4. We all thought they would.
Atlanta almost lost this game again.
Yeah,
it was,
true.
They kicked the field goal to go up by 5, and then Tampa Bay came down at the end. They were driving, and they just didn't have any timeouts left. But they got it down to the 17 or the 20, and they had a couple shots in the end zone, and they could have easily lost another game in the fourth quarter like they have in the past already this season. Atlanta has no room for error anymore. They got to keep on winning. And it basically, they got to get to 10 wins somehow. Maybe at worst 9 wins. So they got a lot of work to do. But I still think they have the offensive firepower. And what were you telling me today? Mike Smith got fired, the defensive coordinator with Tampa Bay. So, Tampa started out. Hey, that was, I guess, those first couple games were their Super Bowl because they've found their way back into the tank where they belong.
Speaking of the tank where they belong, Bengals lost. Steelers are now 3-2-1.
Yep.
Undefeated on the road.
Yep.
And Vontaze Burfict had another shenanigan hit.
I didn't see what
and
was
everybody. I don't know exactly what happened, but I do know that everybody wants him suspended. Like literally everybody.
Well, he should be
incarcerated.
Yeah, he should be. I mean, the guy's he's trouble. And he looks for trouble. He's always in some sort of off the field, on the field, doing something stupid, and they continue to let them come back and play. But that, hey, Cincinnati made a drive to go down and take the lead over Pittsburgh and late in the game, and Pittsburgh, had 3 timeouts left. I think they were under a minute, and they went down and they positioned themselves in field goal range, and then they ran 1 or 2 last plays, and it was a touchdown to Antonio Brown, which pretty much sealed the deal. I think Cincinnati, if Cincinnati could somehow win that game, they would have gone 5-1.
5-1.
Yeah, now they're
4-2 back in the pack.
Yeah, and then what's Baltimore? Baltimore 4-2.
I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah. So in Pittsburgh, Pittsburgh's coming around. They've won
3 in a
row now. And I think that was Cincinnati.
Is it 3 in a row? Yeah, they were 0-1.
They beat Tampa. They beat Atlanta.
Yeah, no.
And now they beat So Cincinnati had a shot to really distance themselves, at least from Pittsburgh, and it was a close game, and they lost a tough one.
Well, here's one that was not a close game. It was the Los Angeles Chargers molesting the Cleveland Browns. Cleveland's back to being Cleveland. Mayfield didn't have a terrible. Well, I mean, he was 22 of 46. That's not good.
They were never in the game.
No, it was 20. It was 34-6 after 3.
Yeah, they were never in the game.
Or excuse me, it was 35-6 after 3.
Yeah, the Chargers.
4-2, by the way.
They ran all over. Melvin Gordon is having a hell of a year.
His name's Melvin.
Phillip Rivers keeps on, doing his thing, and he was in that draft class with Roethlisberger and Eli back in 2003, and he's still playing at a high level. The Chargers are, they're hanging in there. With Kansas City losing against New England, they gained a game on Kansas City. I still think Kansas City's probably still going to win that division, but at the same time, no one's really. And the Chargers have been the same team for the last 3 or 4 years. They show signs of hope, during the middle of the year, and then they end up, falling short at the end and losing some bad games. But if they keep on winning their games, they're going to be a tough team to play. And their defense, for as good as it was last year, hasn't been so good this year. But it was good enough, to beat, good enough to hold Cleveland. I mean, they pretty much shut Cleveland down the entire game until, the fourth quarter. But, I thought Cleveland would win this game at home. But obviously I was wrong.
The Raiders almost got shut out in London. They finally got a field goal. Derek Carr is injured. The Raiders are done. This has been a nightmare for John Gruden. And what probably may end up having to happen is they literally have to rebuild that roster. Because Gruden, I think the loss of Mac obviously didn't help them.
No.
But I think mentally it screwed them. And I think, who knows? You got John Gruden, who literally, as Mad Dog would say, I mean, everybody's treating him like he's Vince Lombardi over here.
Yep.
Okay? With his one Super Bowl that Tony Dungy really created in Tampa.
Yeah.
And it might have rubbed players the wrong way a little bit. Him waltzing in like he's king of the mile, and they're 1-5. They're in disarray. They have no idea what's going on. And Russell Wilson, pedestrian, 222 yards, easy peasy, putting in pie. But he scores 3 touchdowns. He throws for 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, that game was over before it started. As far as Gruden goes, I think it's been documented even since OTAs that he just hasn't gotten along with Carr at all. Not even close. I think he's hanging Carr out to dry. And I don't want to say he's intentionally trying to sabotage him, but Carr just signed that huge deal, and I was looking at it either online or listening on the radio, and I guess they can get out underneath of what they did, meaning that they can take a loss of like $12 to $15 million and be out of that, whatever it was, ridiculous,
$100 some million,
$130 million contract, which I never thought he was worth in the first place. But, ever since they got rid of the offensive coordinator that they had, I can't think of his name, but he was there for a couple of years when Carr was at his best, and he was, I can't think of his name, but he was the offensive coordinator when they went 12-4, was it 2 or 3 years ago?
Yeah, I forget his name.
And then
Fox was the coach.
Carr went down, and they ended up losing in the first round, but, that was when Carr was at his best.
That was when we were in Aruba. The game was on when we were in Aruba.
Yeah.
Out there, yeah.
Yeah, and I forgot who they started. They started someone.
Some schmuck.
Yeah, someone that was terrible.
And they want to talk about somebody who's terrible?
Yeah.
Brock Osweiler.
No.
But for the Miami Dolphins, he comes back. Might have saved Adam Gase's job.
Well,
okay. For the time being, 380 yards passing, 3 touchdowns, looking like fucking Joe Montana out there, gunslinger Brett Favre out there. Okay, Steve Grogan out there, and the Bears. Think about this. They're 3-2, but the 2 losses they had opening night in Green Bay, they should have won.
Yep.
This game, they should have won.
Yep.
They could be 5-0.
Yep.
But the head coach Nagy, not to be confused with Chuck Nagy,
University
or Charles,
of Connecticut,
correct? 95 Cleveland Indians roster when they went to the World Series. What the fuck's Matt Nagy doing? Playing with his early cues? I mean, what's he doing over
Well,
there?
I think first and foremost, as far as the Dolphins go, I mean, this was a huge win, and they almost lost this game and over. They almost gave it away. I think there was a fumble at the 1 yard line, and I didn't see any of it. All I know is, Tannehill. There's some controversy going on whether Tannehill's really hurt or not, and the feeling that I get, and I listened to, I don't know if anyone saw Gase's press conference, but I think more or less Tannehill has not injured, but he's not doing his best to help the team, and I think Gase is sick of it. Now, with that being said, Osweiler and Gase have a relationship from Denver, and Osweiler knows this playbook, Gase's playbook, front and backwards, and if it's actually Gase's call going forward, he's going to play Osweiler.
Sure.
If it's fully, I think Gase is sick and tired of Tannehill. I think for some reason the owner loves Tannehill from what I can gather, but Osweiler, look, this guy is the ultimate bipolar quarterback. I mean, this guy it plays in Denver, gets an $81 million contract with Houston, and then can't hit the broadside of a barn. Houston gets rid of him, not even 1 full year.
They traded him to Cleveland. Cleveland didn't want him.
Cleveland didn't even want him. Cleveland cut him, And now he's down in Miami, and he has one of the best games he's had. And with all that being said, the kid Wilson actually had like 150 yards receiving, but 138 of them were like after the yards after the catch. So, did Osweiler play good? He only played really good because it's Brock Osweiler, and it's a shock when quarterbacks like that come out and play that well, and they haven't been doing well. Is a shock.
Like Nick Foles.
Exactly. Well, Nick Foles played the best game of his life at the biggest point of his life, and I think Miami's hanging tight. They're tied for first, right?
Yeah, tied for
New England. Technically, they
have the tiebreaker, correct?
Yeah, but at the same time, if Osweiler can somehow get clicking and they can hang in there, Miami's been up and down, and we'll see going forward. But I think if Gase has his say on everything as he should as a head coach, and I think Osweiler's going to be out there for the remaining of the year unless barring any injury.
Vikings beat the Cardinals at home by 10. It was a close game. It was 13-10 at the half. Vikings scored 2 touchdowns in the third quarter to literally put it away. It got kind of fishy there at the end.
Yeah.
It was 27-17. Not much really to say here. We go to the Jets and Colts, though. Tons of stuff to say here. I was the only one to pick the Jets.
Yeah.
Locked 301 yards, 4 touchdowns for the Colts, but here we go, the Colts defense. And again, Jets offense looking like shades of the 07 Patriots here. I mean, who knows? Jets are 3-3. Todd Bowles is touching himself at night because this is a guy who was literally probably had 1 more year left before enough is enough.
Well,
And he's, for if you had a rankings for the worst best coach, it'd be Todd Bowles.
No, come on.
The worst best coach? The best worst coach?
The best worst coach. No, he.
As far as record goes, as far as people that were probably going to get fired at some point, he just somehow for him. And he's just standing there like he's catatonic. Like, what's his face? Hugh Jackson. Yeah, Hugh Jackson. No, not Hugh Jackson. Who's the guy who's catatonic we always used to talk about?
You mean
Bowles? It was Bowles.
Yeah,
he's on the sidelines,
nothing.
like nothing. Like he's paralyzed and he can't talk, but he wants to say something. But somebody touched him down there.
Correct.
I don't know what's going on.
I don't. It's hard to say best about anything regarding Todd Bowles and the Jets. It's hard to say. We'd have to go through all 32 head coaches. If I'm thinking off the top of my head,
of the worst coaches,
the worst coaches, correct. The best of the worst, like the smartest kid in the dumb row.
Yeah,
it's like you don't sweat too much for a fat broad.
Sure,
it's a backhanded compliment.
You want to talk about backhanded fucking compliment?
Yeah.
The fucking Carolina Panthers fucked my fucking teaser. I had them plus 5.5. They lose by 6. Those fucking assholes. And there goes all my fucking money. I won everything else. Well, and the other 4, done. Easy peasy. It's always one fucking team, man.
Well,
it's not like and you know this. It's not like I pick 5 teams and 1 wins or 2 win. All of them win except 1. And that's why fucking everybody gets money.
Look, Washington, for some reason, when they play at home, they're world beaters at home. They go on the road, they get annihilated.
Sure.
Funches. They beat Green Bay at home. They beat Carolina at home. And then they go on the road and get,
annihilated by New Orleans.
New Orleans kills them. So they have the home cooking there, and I don't know.
What's
off the top of my? What's the standings in the?
They're in first. They're 3-2.
I understand, but what is Dallas?
Dallas is, I think, 3-3, and the Giants are 1-5, and Eagles are 3-3.
Okay, so by percentage points are in first, but look, we've talked about this a couple times at NFC East. It could be an 8-8 situation or a 7-9 situation.
This is the most ridiculous. Rich Cimini, by the way, or Cimini, or whatever you want to call him, ESPN staff writer. Most ridiculous statement. It's factual, but think about this for a minute.
Mm-hmm.
The way it's written. Jets quarterback Sam Darnold, right elbow, appeared on the injury report for the first time in his career. The first time in his career, it's week 7 of his career. That's like, you would write that when somebody's played 20 years and it's the first time of their career. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What do you think? I don't like the way that's worded. That pisses me off a little. First time of his career.
You should have said for the first time of the season.
Oh, not even the season. It's technically the first time in his career. But he could put young career.
I get it.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you get this? I wouldn't read too much.
Do you get the fucking Houston Texans? Okay, coming back. Buffalo, Nathan Peterman gave the game away. And here we go. Peterman again. Bills are 2-4 in last place.
2-4.
Watson played like garbage. Texans somehow are 3-3. Bill O'Brien's just tap dancing down the pogo sticks.
It always seems like they...
they started 0-3. They fucking won 3 in a row. Same with the Steelers.
Yeah, but who they beat?
They beat the fucking Bills.
Yeah, and they beat...
Pretty good Bills.
They beat a solid Colts team.
Okay, who else?
And they beat... Who else did Houston beat?
Well, Bills are good. They beat Minnesota.
Oh, they beat a solid Dallas Cowboy team.
The Dallas Cowboy team that annihilated Jacksonville 40-7, by the way. Okay, Jacksonville 3-3. We read today. I was reading Mclovein. Jacksonville's a 32.5% playoff shot to make the playoffs now. Blake Bortles is the worst quarterback statistically in the league since the beatdown of the New England.
What's he?
Yeah. Well, yeah, you're right. It wasn't. What did they lose? Yeah, it was. They got murdered.
It was 31-23.
Garbage time points. They were getting.
I don't think it was a beatdown.
All right, look.
40-7 is a beatdown.
Okay, now Rams 23, Broncos 20. What do you got to say about that?
I think it was never a game.
It wasn't. It was 20,
it was 10 points.
10. Yeah.
It was 10 points. 13 points the entire game.
208 yards rushing for Gurley, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, Gurley is,
he's no Gurley.
He is he's the 2018 Marshall Faulk. He can, catch the ball in the backfield. He can run. He can do just about everything. LaDainian Tomlinson shades of. The Rams, they just keep on winning, they keep on trucking, and
Did the Pats play the Rams at all this year?
no, I don't
Oh,
believe so.
well, I don't know who the Rams could beat. But you know which team Baltimore can beat? The amazing. Okay, and by the way, I'm going to call you out on this one, and I'll call myself out on some too. You got to take the home dog. I mean, Tennessee plus whatever the fuck they were.
Sure.
Baltimore shuts them out 21-0.
Okay.
Okay? What do you think of that? What do you think of your Tennessee Titans? The 3-3 Tennessee Titans who fucking beat Jacksonville 9-6.
Yeah.
And Baltimore goes into their stadium.
Yeah.
Okay, with Vrabel there.
Yeah.
He's a big dude, Vrabel.
Yeah.
21-0. What do you think of that? What are your thoughts on it? Mad Dog, say, what do you thought? Give me your take on that.
Yeah. Well, he didn't play well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look, Tennessee could win the rest of the season. You're still going to call them a bad football team. So when they lose, obviously you're just going to say they're a bad football team. So. Whatever. It's just like
are they a good football team or 3-3?
Are they a good football team?
No.
I don't think they're good. I think they're an average football team. But at the same time, where do they stand in the division?
I mean, I'm just telling you.
So in that division, they're who else is in that division?
Who?
They're tied with Houston.
Who is?
Tennessee.
Tennessee.
They're tied.
Tennessee.
So if they're 3-3 and Houston's 3-3, they must be tied. And what's Jacksonville?
Jacksonville set up 3-3 also.
So 3-3, and then Indianapolis is.
Can you believe that shit?
What do we get going? What are we?
Huh?
We taking a timeout?
No, I'm talking to you.
Oh,
I'm messaging EDP.
Oh, okay. I got you.
Video uploaded.
I got you. Okay.
I want to see what his take is.
Sure.
Let's hear your take. I was wrong. Let's hear my take on this. I was wrong about this one.
Did you look it up? And what did you say they were going to win 38-10?
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
Yeah. I did say that on camera.
Sure.
I said after the fact I thought it was going to be 38-24, but I did say 38-10 on camera.
Yep.
I was way wrong. Kansas City's defense is worse than ours, but that's not saying much because we give up 40 points.
Okay.
I mean, look, we had this game, it was 24-9 at the half. 24-9. Okay?
Yeah.
Our defense played first half played good. Played pretty good.
Two big picks
in the end zone, and then Hightower's the first pick.
Yep.
But then guess what we decided to do? We decided it would be a good idea to get into a shootout for some reason when dudes are literally running back kickoffs that you never see happen against the Pats. That's a special teams deal, not a defensive deal. And it took a fucking last drive by Brady to get us in a field goal position. After the game was over. And then the Chiefs score on a 74-yard touchdown by Pat Mahomes rolling to his right. Guy runs 8 million years down the road. Nobody's even close. Deron Harmon with breakdowns. You never see him have that issue. Jason McCourty just running around the field like Danny Shelton. Okay? He's in shape. Danny Shelton's fucking flabs falling out of his, as they would say, stuff's falling out of his jersey. Pats win. They won. It's a huge win. They're only a game now behind Kansas City with the tiebreaker for the top seed in the AFC.
Look,
But this is scary.
They're going to win. Look,
you did, and you called it, and you said 3 points. You said 3 points. You're right.
If I weren't on this show, just by listening to Andy, you would think that they were 1-5. Okay. Very rarely. It's about 90% negative, 100% so, and it's never. You know what? The Pats played a great game. They came out and they beat a team that was undefeated on Sunday Night Football, and everyone thought Kansas City and then New England came out and beat them. And that's the end of the story. They played great. Blah blah blah.
Did they play great? The offense played great.
Look, I don't think they played. I think they look. Everyone's talking about Kansas City as these world beaters, and they go in and New England beats them. I mean, regardless of how it went down. If you look at the NFL as a whole, who has a great defense?
The Rams.
They don't have a great defense.
No,
Minnesota just scored 37 points on them at home.
They did.
And that Thursday night football game.
37.
I don't know. 31.
What was the final score of that game?
I don't know, but they scored a lot of points.
Let's
look it up.
I will.
And anyway, you got to give credit to New England. I mean, we're sitting here and it's what? they're sitting there after the Detroit game. We think the world is ending. Andy is, ready to just.
Kansas City scored. Oh, you're talking about the Rams. Okay, let's see.
Yeah. The
31. The Rams Seahawks. It was Seahawks, wasn't it?
No.
Are you not even talking about that game?
What did they give up against the Seahawks?
At home in Seattle, 31.
Okay, 31. Okay. So that's a lot of points.
It is a lot of points. Okay.
And then
Seattle just scored 27 on Oakland.
And then look at
Vikings and Rams, 31.
31. There we go.
Right there. Okay.
So I mean,
okay.
I don't think the Rams have an unbelievable defense. I mean, if you look at defenses in the NFL, it's very difficult this day and age to have a superb defense. Teams just score points because it's an offensive game. And I think you got to take the positives out. Does New England have a great defense? No, they're never going to have a great defense. But at the same time, they made 2 great big plays in that game. Hightower with the interception, got him a touchdown, and an interception in the end zone. That you can make.
The first half. Yeah, I'm not talking about the first half.
I'm just saying as a game.
I'm talking about the second half.
But you got to give Mahomes a lot of credit. He made a couple of throws that only Aaron Rodgers.
I'm not talking about I'm not talking about those.
I know that it's just like you can do, and I'm not saying New England does some things 99 times right and once wrong, but being from New England and New England fans, and we can say this about the Red Sox and the Pats, and we're always it's never enough. We always have to find the negative, and then. When they win, it's great.
Okay, let me ask you this. Bill Belichick.
Yes.
What does he do well? The Giants players... No. Giants players quoted him as doing this. They had a nickname for him.
Well, he's never happy.
He's never happy.
Correct.
Okay.
And that's why he's successful.
Correct.
But you're not a coach.
Doesn't matter. I'm still a fan.
Look, I'm negative.
You think Belichick says, hey, you guys played a hell of a game? No. He's going to say, what the fuck happened?
Exactly, because that's how he needs to motivate. You can't compare a head coach and the way he motivates his players to a fan.
Well, you can motivate another coach.
But they're not watching.
Is Pete Carroll a good coach? Is he a good coach?
Yes.
Okay. In a game like that, you know what Pete Carroll would do? He'd pump his team up. But you know why? Okay, so you can positive. But when you're so positive and bubble gum and everything else...
I'm not saying that's what you have to be.
Yeah.
I'm just saying when you beat a team like it was an unbelievable game.
It was.
It was Sunday Night Football, one of the best games of the year.
Correct.
And at points in time, Kansas City showed that they were 5-0, and New England was a better team that night. And all I'm saying is, that New England is a good football team. They're not great. They're not New England of the past, but they're still winning football games. It's 20 years, and they're still winning football. Now this is the same team that did lose to Detroit. Don't get me wrong. It's the same team that went down to Jacksonville and got beat by Jacksonville. But, they start off slow. In this, the last 5 years, they've started off slow. And now that they're getting everybody back with Edelman and Gordon is coming in the mixture, and Sonny Michel is turning out to be a pretty decent running back.
Yeah, all right, fair enough. Fair enough.
I
deserve that one.
All I'm saying is they're going to win the East, okay?
Well, sure.
The sun's going to come up, and the sun's going to go down. Just like as long as Brady and Belichick are there. But in the grand scheme of things, this is a game that is going to come back, and it's going to determine who has home field and who doesn't. And they now have that one tiebreaker, just like they always battle with Denver or just like they always battle with the Colts. They'd always beat them in the regular season when they needed to. And whether it's 52-51 or 38-10 or 27-3, you got to look at the big picture. And the big picture is not a rosy, Michelangelo type of painting. It is what it is. They don't have a great defense, but at the same time, they find ways to win.
Yeah. You know who finds ways to win? You know who finds ways to win?
Who?
Aaron Rodgers finds ways to win.
Sure does.
They were down fucking 7 with like a minute and a half left in that game and somehow scored 10 points and won. And if I'm CJ Beathard, I literally gave it everything I had. Some random ass, guy off the street, CJ Beathard, who they've had for a few years now. They just can't fucking win.
Yeah, and you know what? In the NFL, it's like, you can sit there and be like, oh, the poor 49ers. But guess what? Nobody cares.
Yeah. And
at the end of the day, you have to go to work on Monday and get ready for next Sunday. And whether you're a Giants team that lost on a 63-yarder or whether you're a team that, goes into Monday night with zero chance to win anything and has Green Bay beat on the road and they lose the game, you know what? You can mob and sulk all you want, but guess what? In the NFL, nobody cares. No one's going to send you cards and say nice effort. You know, it's just one of those things, and you know it's too bad. But at the end of the day, you got
holiday and club vacations.
Holiday and club vacations. You know, say laughing all the way to the trinket center. You know.
Sure. Well, talk about laughing all the way to the trinket center.
Yeah.
Let's go to some of the comments on our show.
Great.
I don't know where the hell our standings are here, but let's figure this out, shall we? So let's go to the last show, and the worst part is I had the standings written down here. I don't know where they are for our spread. I know what our spread records were last week. That I remember. But let's see what we got. Okay, you ready?
Yeah.
All right. So we got a couple of comments. Vadix, I'll check the scoreboard. You said you were 11-4 last week. I'll figure that out. Yee Nation. My boy Mclovein had more confidence than I did with the Dolphins-Bears game. Great game nevertheless, and loving the fact that Albert Wilson is doing big things in South Beach. Going to the Fins-Lions game next week on my birthday, and it should be a good one.
Well, hey.
I didn't finish it. My question to you guys.
Yes.
With Brock doing such a great job against a great Chicago team, do you think there will be a quarterback controversy in Miami? And before you answer, Dan McLean says, Yee Nation, absolutely. Ryan Tannehill was downright awful the last 2 games that he played in. If I'm Miami, I ride the hot hand with Osweiler until the wheels fall off.
I agree. I think there's only controversy if both players are playing well. I mean, there was a controversy when Drew Bledsoe came back when he was healthy, and Brady you had to. I think when one quarterback is playing terrible and the other one's playing better, whether you're paying one guy, $20 million a year and the other guy's making, veteran minimum, you got to go with what's been winning, and I think Osweiler is the guy. I think he has to be the guy because, he's out of Gase's, he doesn't have many options left. Like Andy's been saying, if Andy's the owner of the Miami Dolphins and Gase is on the hot seat, and if Andy was any owner of a football team, I would not want to be on the hot seat because one bad play on defense or offense, and he'll fire you the next day. So I think you got to roll with it.
I could never be a general manager. My team would be a mess in 3 days. That's true. David Johnson, my bad, Andy, and Mclovein was the video, but I'm asking a gracious favor to give me an L for Thursday night. If so, my picks are as follows. And Vadix, right off the bat, says, sorry but no, didn't put picks in before kickoff, you're DQ'd. Seahawks need a O-line rip. Late on this one, week 6 picks. Eagles, in parentheses, says doesn't count since it's past kickoff. Vadix, wasted your time typing that, you're DQ'd for late picks. I thought it was pretty funny. Now, Dan McLean coming off my best week of the season last week, 13-2, looking to keep the chains moving. He actually did not keep the chains moving this week, although he had a winning record. Goldilocks says, great week last week. Dan McLean says, Jennifer Lynn, thank you. CV Gunn says, man, going to be a tough one this year, but I'll keep at it. Dan McLean says, CV Gunn, 1, 2, 3, agreed, man. This year's started off a lot rougher than last year. Finally shut up the standings after last week. Keep at it because one stellar week can make all the difference. That's true. It can. Do we have anything else going on here? Let's see. Jennifer Lynn says, I accept your challenge. Well, Jets finish above Bills.
Well, you're up one game on where the Jets are 3-3 now. The Bills are 2-4.
Yeah.
I still,
Yeah.
I still think I'm going to win that. Look, at the beginning of the show, I said, I didn't think Sam Darnold was going to be a good quarterback, and I've been wrong so far. So I'll be like, I'll be complete opposite of Mike Francesa, and I'll admit that I've been wrong so far.
Yesterday, anything that is cool, awesome, was giving props to 3 Eagle 3, or as I like to call them, I Eagle I. A shum week again. You will definitely be very tough to beat this season. Can you provide me every week with a spread on every game? I'd really like that, please. Why would he do that for you? Oh, a spread's one thing. It has nothing to do with the standings. Some reason Stephen Wolf's just throwing his standings in there, his picks in there, even though he's disqualified. What else we got going on here? CV Gunn, damn vicious against my 49ers, but can't seem to go a week without having an injury. And sure, Beathard had 349 yards, 2 touchdowns, but he also had 2 interceptions, 4 sacks, and 2 fumbles. This is a week ago. Dan McLean says, I think Beathard has potential, but he has to limit the turnovers. Jay Willie, 413, says, hope you all get to catch EDP's ass, made it on Barstool Sports. Well, we definitely did, and the unfortunate thing is, by the time this video is uploaded, you may see another video on my channel or not about what's going on with EDP in general. But it's time to take a break and take a look at the sexy standings and get ready for the sexy music that comes with it. It is week 7 time. It is spread time. I found the standings. Last week against the spread, I made a comeback against Mclovein. I went 9-6, and Mclovein went 7-8. So, against the spread, I am now 34, 40, and 3, and Mclovein is now 35. 39.
7-8. You went 9-6.
9-6, and you can definitely double check that.
I'm going to.
Okay.
Nothing against you.
Sure, no, that's fine. Double check. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong.
Yeah.
35, 39, and 3. So I gained a game.
We'll do that right when.
Sure, when the thing's over.
Sox, first pitch in about 6 minutes.
Sure. All right. So.
Dow's getting ready to watch the game.
Yeah. This is a huge game for the side. Really have a good feeling. I think they're going to win. But let's go into the spread. Ready? Thursday night's game. We got Broncos 2-4, 0-2 on the road, going in to face the Cardinals. This is one hell of a Thursday night game, by the way. Cardinals 1-5, 0-3 at home. Denver favored by 1.5.
Denver minus 1.5.
Okay, hold on 1 second. Yeah, you have to. AAPM. We both take Denver minus 1.5. Okay, next. Sunday, London game. We got Tennessee Titans 3-3 against the San Diego. Los Angeles Chargers 4-2, no spread. Or no, Chargers are up. Chargers are favored 6.5. By the way, Chargers are the home team.
Over Tennessee?
Yeah.
Tennessee plus the points.
Just like last week, huh? That sure worked well for you with a 21-0 laugher. All right, I'm taking the Chargers, by the way. Pats 4-2. This is a good game. It's gonna be a tough game. 4-2 for the Patriots, 0-2 on the road against the Bears.
Yeah.
3-2, 2-0 at home. New England favored by 3 on the road.
New England minus 3.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
Bills 2-4, 1-3 on the road, going in to face the Colts. This is one hell of a fucking barn burner. 1-5. You're gonna. What do you think the spread is? If you had a wild guess, Colts are 1-5, 0-2 at home. What do you think the spread of this game is?
Wait,
I'm shocked.
The Bills.
Bills going in to face the Colts. What do you think the spread of this game is? You're never gonna get it right. And if you do, it's because you already looked.
I haven't looked.
Yeah, you probably remember it from 22 hours ago.
If I looked, I would tell you.
Okay.
I don't see any funny games. I know the answer.
Okay, here we go.
I think when you say it like that, I bet you it's a pick'em or something like that.
No. Colts are favored by 7.5.
Okay. I'll take the Bills plus 7.
Yeah, I agree. That's pretty easy there. All right, Lions 2-3, 0-2 on the road, going in to face the Dolphins 4-2, 3-0 at home. Detroit favored by 3.
At home against Miami.
No, Miami's home against Detroit.
And
Detroit's favored by 3. Correct.
At Miami.
At Miami.
What the? Miami plus 3.
I agree.
What? There's
something we don't know.
Vegas knows something.
Vikings 3-2-1, 1-1-1 on the road, going into New York to face the football Jets. 3-3, 2-1 at home. Minnesota favored by 3.
Minnesota minus 3.
I agree. Carolina 3-2, 0-2 on the road, going in to face the Eagles. 3-3, 2-1 at home. Eagles favored by 4.5.
Carolina plus the points.
I agree. Browns 2-3 and 2-3-1, 0-2 on the road, going in to face Tampa. 2-3, 1-1 at home. Tampa favored by 3.
Browns plus 3.
I agree there again. Then we have the Houston Texans 3-3, 1-2 on the road, going in to face Jacksonville.
Oh boy.
3-3, 2-1 at home. Jacksonville favored by 5.
Jacksonville minus 5.
I agree. 4:05 game. New Orleans Saints 4-1, 2-0 on the road. My Super Bowl pick, by the way. 4-1, 2-0 on the road, going in to face Baltimore. 4-2, 2-0 at home. Baltimore at home favored by 2.5.
Can you say that again?
Yeah.
I'm
so
sorry.
you got the Saints going into Baltimore,
Yeah.
and the Baltimore's favored by 2.5.
Saints plus 2.5.
I agree. The 425 game, Rams 6-0, 3-0 on the road, going in to face San Francisco, 1-5, 1-1 at home. Rams favored by 9.5.
San Francisco plus 9.5.
I agree again. Cowboys 3-3, 0-3 on the road, going in to face the Washington Redskins.
Oh boy.
3-2, 2-1 at home. Washington at home favored by 2.
Oh, Washington minus 2.
I agree. And the Sunday night game, we got the Cincinnati Bengals and Vontez Burfict.
Sure.
4-2, 2-1 on the road, going in to face Kansas City. 5-1, 2-0 at home. Let's do Sunday night games in a row for them. Kansas City favored by 6.
That's a lot of points.
It's a lot of sexy football.
Cincinnati plus 6.
Well, I'm taking Kansas City. And then the Monday night game, another unbelievable... Dude, this year, we have been so lucky with the picks for Thursday and Monday nights. Because Monday Night Football pits the New York Football Giants at 1-5, 1-2 on the road, and they're going in to face Atlanta. 2-4, 2-2 at home. Atlanta favored by only 5.5.
Who's better, Andy? The Giants or Tampa Bay?
I'd have to say Tampa Bay.
5.5.
Yeah.
Monday Night Football.
Falcons in Atlanta. With
Falcons in Atlanta. The
Yeah.
Giants plus 5.5.
I'm taking Atlanta. All right, we're going into last week. Me and Mclovein both went 10-5. A lot of you won some gift cards. EDP unfortunately went 6-10, and now it's Dod's favorite favorite part of the show. So let's get EDP on the horn here. He's had some rough goings as of late.
At least he's taking the time.
Yeah,
Part of the show.
I appreciate. I think he will.
Hey Andy, what's up, man?
Hey, what's up, man? It's football. It's football picks time. Were you able to watch the whole video?
I'm actually still watching. Give me a second. Let me go outside.
Sure.
I was able to watch the majority of it. I'm still watching it actually.
All right, I'll let you finish, and you can tell me off camera if you want me to upload that or not. But let's go right on into the picks. You went 6-10 last week. Thursday night's game though, we got Denver going into Arizona. Who do you got?
Who the fuck wants to watch that shit?
Nobody.
Nobody. I'd rather watch golf, and I fucking hate golf.
I'll take the Broncos on that.
Yeah, sure.
Denver.
Yeah, we all have Denver. All right, next game, we got Tennessee going in to face Los Angeles, the Chargers.
I'll take the Chargers.
Yep, I will as well.
Titans.
McLovin's taking the fucking Tennessee Titans. Because he wants to...
That's the thing about McLovin, man. You like to fuck with us, man.
Not to, like Andy says, 4 plus 4 is 8. That's a fact. If you look at the standings over the last couple of years,
Yeah, well, here's some standings over the last couple of years. The Patriots are going in to face the Bears. Who do you got, EDP?
Oh, shit, man. That's a fucking... First off, where's the fucking game at?
Chicago.
You guys are fucked. I'm going with Chicago.
Okay, I'm taking New England.
New England.
All right, next up we got Buffalo going in to face Indianapolis. What a sexy game that is.
Oh, fuck, man. Who's starting at quarterback for Buffalo?
Guy by the name of Derek Anderson, and if you remember, Derek Anderson played for the Browns back in 2007.
Yeah, man. It'll go 10-6. Holy shit, man. Bills and who?
Colts.
I'll take the Colts.
Colts.
Yeah, we all take the Colts. I'm going to take Buffalo.
Oh, boy.
All right, Detroit going into Miami. Who do you got?
Miami.
Yep, we all have Miami. Next up, we got Minnesota going into New York to face the Jets.
Minnesota going in to face the Jets. Fuck it, I'll take the Jets, man. I don't know why. Fuck.
All right, I'm taking Minnesota.
Minnesota.
So is EDP. So is McLovin. Next, we got Carolina going in to face your Eagles.
Oh, fuck, man. Pick me last.
All right, I'm taking Carolina.
Philly.
Fuck it, it's going to end up in a tie.
All right, I'll throw a tie down. Next up, we got Cleveland going in to face Tampa Bay.
Cleveland going in to face Tampa. Oh, fuck Cleveland, dude. I'm sorry, Tampa Bay, sorry.
I also have Tampa Bay. I know who McLovin's going to take. He's going to take Cleveland.
Look, Cleveland, last couple of weeks have been terrible. But Tampa Bay's Tampa.
Oh, he's taking Tampa.
No, Cleveland.
All right, he's changing it to what I thought, Cleveland. All right, next up, we got Houston going into Jacksonville. This is going to be a fucking blowout.
Yeah.
I know Jacksonville got blown out themselves, but this isn't going to be close.
I'm going to take Jacksonville, bro.
Yep, me too. What do you got, McLovin?
Jacksonville.
Jacksonville says McLovin. All right, then we got New Orleans going in to face Baltimore. That's going to be a decent game.
I'll take the upset. I'll take Baltimore.
Yeah, I'm taking New Orleans.
Baltimore's actually favored, right?
Yeah, but they're home, so.
Yeah, New Orleans.
All right, same here. And then we got the Rams going in to face the 49ers.
49ers.
Oh, boy. Right off the cuff. Rams.
All right, Rams. And then we got Dallas going in to face Washington. No, I'm taking the Rams.
That whole Niners game, bro, I feel like the Niners got fucking robbed again, because it's fucking Aaron Rodgers, man, and they want to suck his fucking balls and shit. So I'm going to take the Niners, man, because I feel like they pissed. Now, what was the next game? I'm sorry.
The next game is Dallas going into Washington, but you know what? Da actually agrees with you. He also thinks that they suck Aaron Rodgers' balls. So you got somebody who agrees with you there. We got Dallas and Washington.
Dallas.
I also picked. Did I pick Dallas? Didn't I? Where the fuck did I pick?
Washington.
I took Washington -2. Is that what I did? No. Against the spread. Who did I fucking
You took Washington.
I did. So I have to take Washington. Obviously.
You don't have to.
No, I have. That doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't make any sense.
I'm picking Washington. EDP.
It's like-
you picked Dallas or Washington? I forget.
Dallas.
Dallas. All right. Who do you got?
Two movement. You don't have to do anything you don't want to do.
Sure. Unless you lie about it,
Sure.
and then you get caught and nobody does anything. You read that article?
Who?
Oh, some 4 women. Listen to this, EDP. 4 women in high school hated this kid. So they said he was a lifeguard at some community pool. Yeah. So they said that he molested them and all sorts of shit, right?
Yeah.
So he's like freaking out. He has his baseball scholarship and everything else, and he can't function because he didn't do anything.
Yeah.
So he's all screwed up now, all screwed up for life and all this other stuff. And now it comes out that the girls lied. They admit they lied about it. They have audio recordings of everything. And now they're not going to charge the women with any wrongdoing because it's gender bias discrimination.
Yeah, get the fuck out of here, man. I'm going to lock those 2 fucking hoes up. Niggas
They're probably Democrats.
20 fucking years.
Yeah,
They probably were.
They're probably Democrats.
All right, we got Cincinnati. Who do you pick, Washington or Dallas?
I took Washington.
You did okay. And then we got Cincinnati EDP going into Kansas City.
Kansas City, man.
Kansas City.
Yeah, we all agree. And then Monday night game. You ready for this? Giants Falcons. Giants going into Atlanta. Who do you got?
Oh, Atlanta's going to wipe the floor. Those sorry motherfuckers, man.
Yep. You got Atlanta? Oh my God, you're picking the Giants, aren't you?
This is what happened. This is going to be the same thing with Carolina. No, I mean, but Atlanta needs it. So give me Atlanta.
All right, he's taking Atlanta begrudgingly. EDP, man, watch the rest of that video. Tell me what you want to do. You can call me. I'm going to charge my phone. Thanks again. I know it's been a ridiculous week for you. Thanks for being on the show.
No problem, man. This week's been fucked up, but I'll get to it eventually, I guess.
Yeah. And then the bye weeks, by the way, folks, Packers, Raiders, Steelers, and Seahawks. All right, guys, thanks for watching.
Later.
EDP, thanks, man.
See you, buddy.
All right, man. Have a good one, man.
All right.
See you.
All right, guys, that's been week 7. We're going to go right into the Red Sox and Houston Astros game. Porcello on the mound. I feel pretty confident. I think it'll be a much closer game than the first 3 have been, but we'll see. And as always, fuck you!